passion, something that you are strongly interested in and enjoy. What's up, Army? This is Bring the Soul.
I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Army!
Yay!
Welcome back. We are back for episode 2 of the BTS Bring The Soul Docu-series, episode 2, Passion. And joining me today, he is our fearless leader. We have Ollie Drennan.
Hello. Welcome back.
And I'm going to be your golden maknae for the time being. I am Veronica, Valencia. Coming up later in the show, we're going to be talking all things about episode 2, Passion. So we're going to be talking about BTS's growth, as well as some of the dilemmas and criticism that they face, such as Jimin's injury. We're also going to be talking about Yoongi and kind of the writer's block that he had in this episode. We're also a show with variety, and we are going to be doing our own version of Run BTS, Run ABTV. What game are we playing this episode? You have to wait and find out. But before we get into any of that, Ollie, what were your overall thoughts on this episode as well as the theme of passion?
I really enjoyed this episode because I think it was also showcasing so much. Like, it showcased kind of some of the downsides of what they were going through, but also some of the up moments of them, you know, with the Time magazine photo shoot, you know, them going to America's Got Talent. I saw my girl Tyra Banks taking pictures. Tyra is obsessed with BTS. She loves BTS. Fun fact, by the way. I love celebrities who love BTS. Like, Terry Crews is also very obsessed with BTS, and I love it. I think like Willow Smith, like there's so many celebrities that love K-pop, and it's just amazing. I love it so much. But also it was so fun because my bias is RM. Okay, so we know this.
So it's out there.
He was kind of like the epicenter of this episode. He's been getting a lot of screen time in comparison to some of the other members. And
it
was his birthday, and it was so cool to see his birthday, and I'm excited to talk about it because it was like good and bad. I don't know. There's just like something somber about it. You know, like it was like
it's like you see the good sides, and the editing is so well done to the point where it's like it makes you feel everything. It makes me feel happy. It gives me chills. It makes me feel butterflies. Butterfly, that's a song. But it also, you know, makes me feel sad for the boys because they do go through so much. But what I loved about this episode was it really hit on their growth and just how far they've come as a group. And it's, you know, but they also show just kind of how, you know, how things, because they've gotten so big, how that can take a toll on you, especially with like Jimin's injury, which we'll get into. But, you know, they really hit hard on the theme of passion, and that's such an important thing because in order to do what they do, in order for anyone to do what they want to do, you have to have passion. So let's kind of start it off with, you know, they were talking a lot about the elements of a BTS performance. And I just kind of loved all the members tuning in. A lot of them said energy, but then Jimin's like, I say in-ear monitors. I'm like, Jimin, my sexy mochi, why you make me laugh like that?
Lighting. It's all about lighting.
It's all about the lighting. RM.
Got a point there, though. Let's be real.
I kind of found this so funny, and just because it's every member kind of has their own thing that maybe they're particular about. You know, like with RM, he's like, I like to have good lighting, or with Jimin, you know, he's particular about wanting in-ear monitors, and, you know, kind of not jumping too far ahead, but we see that why that's so particular for him. But I just loved all of the members, how they had the little thing of like,
showing,
well, this is what makes it.
Their own little biases and their own little personalities, and it's cool because I think this documentary is really showcasing how like different they are, because they're not cookie cutter guys at all by any means.
No, and you know, they're also talking about how a lot of it is energy and how they have to keep it up. They can't let that go. And I feel
more choreography.
I feel like that's going to be a reoccurring theme in this. Obviously, it's a reoccurring thing. Like, they talk about energy so much. So we're going to be talking about that a lot. But the thing that I loved a lot about this episode that I kind of want to touch on was their growth. Like, to BTS stands out there, to all ARMY out there who has been around since their debut in 2013, tilt my hat off to you guys, because you have been in it for the long run, and I am so grateful that, you know, all armies just welcome any person who wants to be an army throughout the years. But they have come such a far way. Like J-Hope was saying, oh, you know, we would rehearse from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., And two things came to mind. First of all, that's crazy long,
Right.
but knowing the K-pop industry, it makes complete sense. But also, I'm like, aren't you just as busy now? But then I thought, they're busy now, but they're not busy rehearsing. They're busy,
Right.
you know, concerts, making music, interviews, photo shoots, all this, run BTS, all this other stuff they're busy with. It's not just rehearsing.
Yeah, those 12-hour days kind of are almost ingrained in them at this point. And it's, I think that's the training process of becoming an idol. Like you don't, you know, it's a lot of time that, you know, that the training takes away from you. And so I think they're professionals now at this point, you know, and there's so much traveling and there's just so much press that they have to do at this point, which some of the members don't really like doing press, but they're so tired. They're probably so tired. Like we have to cut them some slack too, but obviously they're so passionate about what they do, so they can be a little hard on themselves. But I think it's our job as fans to not be hard on them and to send them hate, you know, because they're human beings at the end of the day, and they're just trying to perform for us. God damn it.
They just want to make us happy. And I'm like, all you need to do is stand there and I'll be happy. Like,
I know. When they were saying more choreography, I'm thinking, no, you don't have to.
It's so disheartening to watch. Because, like, I know their mentality. I know that they work hard for us. And I love them and appreciate them so much for that. But at the same time, it's like, you know, if you want to take a moment, and especially if it's a medley, like, you don't have to move. Like, you know, I'll take in your vocals and just get chills watching you. Like, they are beautiful human beings with how much they want to make sure ARMY is getting what they have dreamt their whole lives to see, you know? I love it so much. And, you know, they talk a lot about their first performance and how they couldn't even do a set, like fill a set list. And we talked about this in episode 1, how now they're doing like a 26-song set list. And it's even crazier to think about because a fun little piece of trivia for you, Ollie. I don't know if you know this, but it's so beautiful to see where they are now, especially certain members, because on their first performance, Jin cried. Because I think the short version is his pants was falling down and he messed up. But I think it had something to do with the mic pack. But that was just really sad because, you know, that was their first performance. He worked so hard for that, and then you mess up. But it's so interesting seeing how that's their first performance, and now they're up here doing 26-song set list. It's crazy.
They're not opening for anyone. They're the stars.
They are the stars. They can play a 4-hour concert by themselves, and they will have people on their feet from even before they go on because they're playing their music videos. So it's just like you were saying, Ollie.
And their arena is literally lit with everyone's glow sticks, and it's so
with
cool.
ARMY bombs.
Yes.
Yeah. But something that also really struck me was J-Hope was saying, oh, you know, I didn't think that there would be anything after Blood, Sweat, and Tears, which, like, that's this very sexy music video.
No, that's why there was something after Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
There was something after Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Oh, I love that song so much. But, you know, and then RM kind of said something similar, like, oh, that's when we peaked. I can't imagine not having BTS after that.
Yeah. I think almost like I don't want to say it's important to have that doubt, but I think maybe that doubt that some of the members had almost fueled them and kind of made them stronger performers. Because almost if there isn't that doubt in the beginning, like it doesn't give you any motivation to really, you know, go above and beyond. And right now, look at them now in this day of age, like they're at their peak. Well, I don't even think they're at their peak. They're still going. Right. So it's just so funny to kind of like hear that and kind of like, oh wow, like you guys are really killing it, and you still have so much progress and so much, like the road is not done yet by any means.
No, not at all. And I'm so happy to see where they keep going. And they have so much. They aren't just giving us a concert tour. Like we have mentioned, there's so much BTS concert. In the past, they gave us Burn the Stage. They have given us multiple movies. They have given us 80 plus episodes right now of a variety show. They are giving us so much content. They are not done just giving. They're such giving artists when it comes to their fans, and that's something I so appreciate. Real quick, too, I want to just kind of talk about some of the dilemmas and criticism that they face. So this episode was also very just kind of broke my heart because I love Jimin so much, and it broke my heart to see him struggling with his injury. What do you think?
It was sad because was he crying?
I think he was in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
And he was, I felt like he was crying.
I didn't know how to feel about it. I wasn't sure if he was laughing, but to know that he was crying, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so sad. You know, so like, is that injury like there with him for like life? That's like,
if he wants to stay doing this.
It just seems like it's that makes me a little nervous for him, and I think we have to wish Jimin all like the best and just really fully support that person and don't send any negativity, because Jimin just wants to perform and be a part of BTS and continue on with their career, with his career and everyone else's career. So it's just, injuries are no joke.
No.
They're no joke at all.
In the Bring the Soul movie, they really focused on Jungkook's injury. It was like with his ankle, and he couldn't dance. He was in a chair on top of stage just singing, and you see with Jungkook and with Jimin just how hard that is for them to take, of the fact that they can't perform. I actually remember, I don't know if you've seen that interview, Ollie, I think they were on the Graham Norton show, and Jimin had to sit out of that interview because of his injury. And I was watching that, I was like, oh my gosh, where's Jimin? Not just because like I love Jimin, but also because
there's seven members.
There's seven members, but they're so good at just pushing through.
Right.
Maybe sometimes a little too much, to the point where where injury like that does happen, but they push so much that I could never imagine someone having to sit out.
Yeah, of anything. So it's like seeing 6 people. It's like when Jessica left Girls' Generation. That was really hard, but not saying that anyone's leaving BTS by any means. But yeah, it just is. It's, you know, they don't want to like disband or like lose a member by any means due to an injury, but at all.
Yeah. And I mean, an injury is really hard, and I think especially hard because, you know, when you're a trainee, you're kind of at, you know, you're completely under control by the company that you signed to. And so if the company feels that at any point you're a liability, they will cut you and your dreams will be squashed. And that's like the harsh industry and that's the harsh truth of the K-pop industry. So I feel like that also ties back, like if a member gets injured, I feel like it also ties into when they were trainees, because, you know, if they were injured, Big Hit would have dropped them because they were a liability. And I feel like there's still that fear of like, if I'm injured, I can't perform, or like I can be pulled out, or I could leave. I don't think that's ever happening because BTS is so successful.
Right.
But I feel like that's also where that fear stems from.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen by any means, but yeah, it's definitely the fear part of, you know, from their perspective. They don't even want to, like, they can't even fathom that predicament. Yeah.
I also just want to give some quick shout outs to our chat. Thank you everyone so much, Army, for tuning in. We got Marie, who is back. We got Jolinda. We also got Beck. I just want to say shout out to Beck, who's saying, I think they are less worried, stressed about choreo now, like they have stopped dancing to Fake Love. I still think, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm watching this series, I feel like they're still worried about choreo. I just feel like that'll always be ingrained in them because they're such perfectionists.
They could literally stand there and sing, and we will go crazy. Like, forget the choreography. And
I want to give a shout out to Marie, who was saying, Blood, Sweat, and Tears was J-Hope's spotlight. Yes! Yes! I love J-Hope. I love them all. I love them all. They're all my sweet angels. So now I kind of want to also go into the second part of that, which is the criticism. And Ollie, we kind of know this. Just when anyone gets any type of success, there's always going to be haters and always going to be criticism. And I don't think they deserve any of it.
No.
Because they're such hard workers.
No. I think K-pop is kind of like an interesting fandom because I think it could be really like positive and supportive, but I also think I've seen like videos and, you know, crazy fans, and it's not BTS, but I've seen people from the crowd pointing laser pointers in some of the group's eyes because
really?
I don't understand, like, that's not, those
Why?
aren't
that's dangerous.
Yeah, and so I think that's extremely toxic. Like, I guess every fan base has that toxicity, and I just don't understand it. Because K-pop in South Korea, okay, I get it, it's like a sport, you know, but don't take it so seriously to that extent of like harming someone and sending death threats. And I completely don't understand that. And I don't believe those people deserve to be a fan or considered a fan or to even be able to like see them perform. I just think that's insane. It's crazy. And it saddens me that is the case in some fandoms, you know?
It absolutely breaks my heart when people will say that so-and-so can't be a part of a group. And I found it interesting that J-Hope was kind of the one who said that they faced a lot of criticism because, back in 2014, quickly after they debuted, he was getting so much hate from people saying, you don't deserve to be in BTS. I believe this was the case. I'm not entirely sure, but I believe this was the case. And I'm just like, have you not seen him? Have you not heard his vocals? Have you not heard his rap? Have you not seen his dance move? Have you not seen how hard he works? He so deserves. They all deserve to be where they are right now.
And just, it doesn't make sense when people will say those things and then think that that's okay in like the other members' eyes. How can you be a fan of BTS and then rip into one members, like the other members that you idolize? They wouldn't be okay with that by any means. They wouldn't be okay with those things that you're saying about that other member that you hate or despise or sending those death threats. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, that's insane. That's unacceptable by 100%. Like, it's insane.
Yeah, it breaks my heart and it makes no sense. And we all just got to give love.
Right.
Jimin gives hearts.
It's not that. It's free to do.
Hearts.
It's so free. Easy and it makes you feel good. Come on. Just like any BTS song.
Any BTS song. Now let's go into kind of this idea of writer's block. So we got a little bit from Yoongi this episode where he's trying to produce music and he's basically saying, when I'm performing, I want to write, but when I'm writing, I want to perform. And I kind of want to get your opinion, Ollie, on this topic of just kind of like, I don't know, they're so active that I feel when they have a moment to themselves, I can't imagine what they would want to try and tackle.
Right.
Like what they want to do, because their mind is going a million miles a minute.
It's almost as if, like, because they're so busy, there is so much pressure to do other things, but also you want to just take a nap, man. Like, sleep. So it kind of, like, makes me a little sad because maybe he wants to, like, the writer's block that he might be facing is just due to he doesn't really know what to write about or, you know, to sing about because he's just so exhausted or anything because he really doesn't have like an actual like time for a vacay. So I think he might not be like 100% like focused in what he wants to write, you know, when given that time because he's just so used to going here and there. Exactly.
Yeah. It's definitely tough, but, you know, he always pulls through and he comes up with such great tracks. And he was like, I want 10, but I'll have 6. And I'm like, that's better. I can't even come up with 1. So, you know, he still manages to get it done. But I'm sure it's hard to just, you know, when you've been doing something for so long to try and focus on something else or decompress.
Yeah, and when you are performing, you just always want to not be stagnant. So I think that's what he's going through. He wants to just constantly produce, and perform, obviously. You know.
All right, guys. So that was our review of the BTS Bring The Soul Docuseries Episode 2, Passion. I kind of want to go into some news right now because something exciting came out this week.
Yeah.
Army, I'm sure that you know this, but as I have said multiple times, BTS keeps coming at us with all of the content. So obviously, it's only natural we're getting another movie!
Yay! Woo!
This one is going to focus, This one is going to focus on the Love Yourself, Speak Yourself tour, which Ollie and I, we got to go to that one.
Yeah, at the Rose Bowl.
Rose Bowl? It was the Rose Bowl, yeah. Which I'm so excited about. I feel like for Army who were watching Bring the Soul and they went to that initial tour, I can't imagine just like how touching that was for you because you're like, you also experienced that and then to know this is what's going on behind the scenes. I feel like I'm going to have that feeling with this movie of, oh, I was at that tour, but oh my gosh, this is what was happening while I was like fangirling and doing the fan chant. Crazy.
So it's almost like a sequel to the series, right?
Yeah. Well, it's like part 2. So I'm hoping that they kind of give us more.
Yeah, and just to see where their heads are at that moment because you never know exactly what they're going through on this tour.
Yeah. I love it. I love that they're giving us more and more and more. Now, let's go into our special segment.
Yay.
You know, like I said, we have a lot of variety here. And in honor of Run BTS, we're doing our own version called Run ABTV. So what game are we playing today, Ollie?
What is it called? Wait,
no!
Wait, guess the BTS song?
Guess the BTS song.
I wasn't sure if it was a proper name.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't want to mess it up. I'm so sorry.
You're good. All right, let's see if we can figure this out. All of these clips are 1 second or even less if that's possible. I went first last time, so Ollie, let's have you guess first.
Okay, here we go. Let's do this. Oh! This is for me?
Yeah.
Idol.
Is that your first
Yes.
choice? Is that your second choice?
Yes, I'm going for it. Idol.
It's Idol!
Yay! Okay. Am I guessing again now?
Yes.
Or is it okay.
I know, even this one, I'm like, what
gosh.
was this one?
I'm going to be really upset if I get this one wrong. I want to say Euphoria?
I do love Euphoria.
I don't think it's Euphoria now. Dang it. I love that's
It's the very, very end
It does.
Boy with Love.
Oh my gosh.
But it does sound like Euphoria.
No.
I can totally see how you see that.
Because I was thinking, this kind of sounds like it's ending. Okay, the clips I pulled are like 2 seconds. Like they're
That's
literally okay. So
All right, so you're helping me out a little bit more. Was I too mean?
no, those were good. Those are actually really good.
Okay, my turn.
Okay.
Producer Ryan. Oh, fake love. I feel like singing in my head. Fake love. I'm so sorry about this fake love.
I know that one's really easy to guess because it's so like you get that song stuck in your head so easily.
I love
so good job.
I love the music video and the dancing for Fake Love so much.
I really wanted to incorporate that one, so I had to pick I tried my best to pick like a very tricky part.
A tricky part.
Good job. You're like, nope, I got this.
RM is very distinct. All right, song 2. Oh, I do know. Wait, I pause it real quick. Oh my gosh, I know it, but the name is escaping me. Army, help me.
Live chat? Live chat? Anyone there?
Oh, God. I am so mad at myself right now because I know it. I know that tune. Yeah, time's up. Ollie, tell me.
Glow. BTS, Charlie.
Glow! Oh,
Yeah.
I love Glow.
Yeah.
I'm also really obsessed with lights right now. Oh, gosh. I'm so mad that I didn't know that.
It's
But
okay.
it's okay. It's okay because
That one was tricky. That was.
It was.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah. There we go.
You totally
man.
would have gotten the other one that I pulled, but it's okay.
That's okay.
I was hoping it was the
We'll
other
play
one.
it behind the scenes because I want to know what it was. But that is all the time that we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Bring The Soul After Show. Ollie, where can Army find you on social media?
Hey guys, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Ollie Dreamer.
And you can find me, Veronica Valencia, on Instagram and Twitter at It's Me, Veronica_V. Thank you so much again for tuning in to BTS and Army. We purple you.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.